Good morning, my little seedlings. Chris, the Country Cottage Garden here. Welcome back to another video. What a sad day it is today. It's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye to this old rose behind me, up on this this property that I come to regular. It's had its day. I'll pan it over and we'll chat about why. This old girl has been here for quite a few years, and as you can see, I've pruned it back quite a lot, but it's full of dead. There's a lot of old timber in there, a lot of old shoots, and I keep thinning it out year after year after year with the dead and diseased and everything, and it's just had enough. So today I'm going to be removing it. But on the up note, we've got a lovely new one going in, and this is a white, lightly fragranced iceberg rose. Bought this from one of my local garden centres. I was quite limited to what they had, which is a bit of a shame, really. I would have liked to put a lovely pink rose on there, but I'm familiar with the iceberg one because I've had that before in various gardens. But while we're here, I'm also going to be adding some extra support to it in preparation for it. That one's wire is all pretty much defunct now, so I've got some new wire, I've got some vine eyes, and I've got some turnbuckles, so I'm going to be sharing with you how to wire up a rose in preparation like a pro being me. Anyway, let's get on with some work. easier than I thought. There wasn't a lot of root on there, which is probably to be expected for the growth rate it had, but I thought there'd be a bit more in there. Even for an old rose, I thought there'd be big remnants of dead or rotting roots, but here we are. One thing I am going to do while I'm there is that we're plagued with bindweed in this flower bed, in all these beds here. We're plagued with popular there, so I'm going to take advantage and just have a root around and try and get out some of the roots while we're there. But I'll just briefly go over what I'm going to be doing in regard to the rule plugs, and all I'm going to be using is a size 6mm masonry drill bit into my DeWalt hammer drill, and I'll be using brown rule plugs. Now the brown ones are typically 5 to 6mm. Am I right in that? 4 to 5mm for the drill size. Sorry, 7mm for the drill size. Now I'm going for a 6mm purely because I know these bricks are brittle. The hole is probably going to come out bigger than it's intended because they're so old. With a screw size of 8 to 10. Now the vine eyes I've got here are M8 size, so these are 8mm, and these are galvanized turnbuckles. And if you're not familiar with these, basically you've got threads on both ends, one which turns clockwise and one which turns anti-clockwise. So let's just unthread these before you put them all up onto the vine eyes. When you finally drilled them out, you want to make sure they're unthreaded, because these are what you're going to use to tighten up the wire. Let's unwind all of those, unwind all of those. Now you can get these in different lengths. I think these are 100mm. They're not expensive, they're about £1.20 a piece. So what we do is we drill the hole, we put the rule plug in, we put in a vine eye at each end, and then this hooks onto the vine eye. The wire goes onto there, and that goes off to the other vine eye at the other end. And to tighten it, you simply thread this in, therefore pulling the wire that way. So you've got that one for stretching it there, and if you go all that way, you can twist this one anti-clockwise, and again it will pull along this thread, keeping the wire even more torn. I would suggest doing it that you only do half, because wire stretches over time, and also as it gets heavier it will pull more and more and more. You can get anchor bolts instead of using rule plugs and things like that, but to be honest, again, with these bricks, they're so brittle, I'd much rather put more of these in and use the rule plugs, and then drill smaller holes as well. I'm going to have a little root around, but you can catch up with me in a minute when I put the first couple in. To do, because I know this is the right length, not catch my leg on another bit of rose, is I take it off just so I can work on it a little bit easier. You want to try and keep this as tidy as possible, but let's be honest, we're working with thick galvanized wire here. You may want to wear gloves. For me, I prefer not to, because I like to feel what I'm doing. I try and wrap it around at least 2 times. There you go. Just trim off the excess, because you will catch yourself on it at some point, no doubt. here we are. Let's go thread that back on. You can see that's on there. I've got the hook into the vine eye. Just got to tidy up this end. We've still got the slack in there. So you can actually, because you've got this tail, you can now pull more slack out of it and wrap it around. So let's give that a go. Tell you what, we had absolutely freezing weather and snow, not much down south this week, and today it's 6 degrees. Although it's drizzly, it feels really mild. It actually feels a little bit spring-like. As you've seen as I've been doing the works, that we've got snowdrops coming up, daffodils breaking root, and a few other little things around the garden. There's new buds showing. Quite positive, really. Anyway, that's it done. We've gone round, had a little tidy up. I'll just swing the camera around and show you pretty much a bare wall.